been a really interesting show, Jim, and you know what I've found from talking to folks over the past couple of days here on set is that there's been kind of a shift among people who are coming to booths to talk about, particularly about ADS-B. And that shift has gone from what do I need to here's what I want.
Right.
And the people who are selling ADS-B equipment are getting far more detailed information from their customers about the features they want to see.
Well, it's obviously changed from a speculative to a buyer's market. They're ready to buy, or I should say seller's market at this point. There's been so much speculation as to when the economy would get better, and that's out to lunch. But at the same time, people think that there's a better business climate coming, if not a few other things besides that. And they're prepared to make decisions to buy, to upgrade, to do what's necessary, or maybe even let loose with a whole lot of dollars and even do new airplanes or retrofits. So we'll see how that pans out by the time we arrive. We're Las Vegas next year, I believe, in 2018.
But the other side of that coin is that not only are people maybe a little bit more confident about making that purchase and a little bit more confident that the deadline is not going to slip, but the prices are also coming down.
Right.
Particularly in the Part 23 end of the market, the small airplane end of the market, there are much more affordable options now than there were 3 or 4 years ago when this was all first starting to be discussed. And I think that will be one of those things that really starts to drive the equipage, and then they're going to start running into backlogs at the installation centers.
What were the highlights of this show for you?
Well, the highlights of doing this, obviously, because this is what we do.
It was either that or get a real job, and none of us
around
here are
there
ready
is
for that anytime soon.
But you know, rather than a specific highlight of the show, I think it's more the undercurrent sea change that I talked about a little bit ago. That there is starting to be more acceptance, and the pilots and owner operators are starting to say, you know, we finally get this. And I think there really has been, if not a complete sea change, at least that tide is starting to turn, and people are going to get their airplanes equipped probably more than we thought would happen 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, there's definitely been some upgrades here and there. I was glad to see Avidyne get their cert on 10.2. The fact that they're building synthetic vision into everything they do in the panel now is quite remarkable in the long run. And I think they're despite the fact that they're not the 600-pound gorilla that a few others are, I think they're going to build themselves a good, solid, strong niche. I'm happy to see GoGo continue to make the progress that they're making, if for no other reason than everybody's ready to chase them and try to do the same thing in their area. And there's a couple of companies here that are continuing to innovate, continuing to build, looking better in the future. There's some products that are starting to really hit their stride. L3's Lynx, if there's a more universally accepted or approved product right now, more excitement built around any single product, it's Lynx. And that's pretty cool when you consider the fact that it's a box that basically does a whole lot of different things reasonably well, but wasn't meant to specialize in any one thing outside of ADS-B. So pretty cool stuff. I like what I'm seeing here, and I like the fact that people are continuing to innovate even incrementally.
And this is where the innovation happens, and we've said that for years, is that the electronics and the avionics segment of the market is where 99% of the innovation is happening, because nobody's building anything that looks like a different airplane. Although, as we start to see, you know, the way out on the horizon, the manned multi-rotor copters and those kinds of things that are happening in Europe and coming to the United States at some point. That will be an innovation in airframes, but that will also require a great deal of innovation in aircraft electronics, so we're right back where we are.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 60th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from New Orleans, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Have you ever wanted big glass in your cockpit but didn't have the space? Now with Avidyne's IFD series, touchscreen GPS navigators, and our new IFD 100 iPad app, having big glass in your cockpit is finally within reach.